Welcome to Just Wanna Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School, where we explore all kinds of things, stories about quilting, tools, field trips, maybe some famous quilters stop by, and, of course, a little bit of copyright thrown in just for fun. I'm Elizabeth Townsend Guard. I'm a law professor, and I just wanna quilt. Hi, so this is the recap for week 5. We are on our second month. We are on week 5. It's amazing. So this week we celebrated our 1-month anniversary, but before that, we ended our first month with a most amazing interview with Scott Fortunoff. Scott is the company behind the company Jaffex that just bought Free Spirit. Free Spirit includes Tula Pink and a ton of really famous people. So they just made this huge move and bought Free Spirit. So we had an interview that we did with him before they bought Free Spirit. And he also is part of our advisory board, so I'm super psyched about that. So that was our 31st episode in our first month. That does not include bonus material, and it was amazing. So we're super psyched about that. On Tuesday, we celebrated our 1-month anniversary. Some people said happy birthday to us, and we were super psyched about that. And our numbers are looking good, and we're psyched, and we're growing, and I'm really couldn't be happier. That day, we also released Cheryl Sloboda, part 2 of her episode, and her stuff. She was, So Scott was really cool because he was talking about how, like, the fabric industry, and that was really interesting. Cheryl gave us sort of an overview of the quilting industry in general and her thoughts about sort of what it is to be part of the quilting industry. It was really interesting. Then on Wednesday, Emma Connolly from Uptown Needle and Craft Works talked to us about why she owns a shop and owning a shop, which I thought was really interesting. Now, we love shops. We are very pro quilt shop, and we're psyched to be talking to quilt shops. So if you have a quilt shop and want us to interview you, or we'll get around to doing field trips or live Facebook at your shop, we would totally adore it. We're trying to understand how shops are similar and how they're different, what the economics are behind it, why shops are so individualistic. For right now, like our 2 real anchor shops here in New Orleans are Mise-a-Me and Uptown Needle and Craft Works. They're really different shops, but we really like them, and so we spend a lot of time with the project in these 2 spaces. So we talked to Emma. On Thursday, we talked to Brian Fry. He is a law professor, intellectual property law professor, a colleague at University of Kentucky College of Law. And what was interesting about him is that he's also a filmmaker. He did art films and also documentary films. So we talked about copyright and how he thought about copyright as a maker of art films, and then in significant contrast what it's like to be a documentary filmmaker where your film is getting picked up by places like CNN, and that you have a very different relationship between those two. And so we talked about that, and he also had given a talk to weavers, and he's part of our quilting army, and he's awesome. So we talked about what he does and his thoughts, and then kind of translated it into the quilting space. On Friday, we had Liz Lesher. She is a former law student and quilter and attorney. And she had another take on the quilting world. She's not someone who buys fabric. She loves scrappy quilts. She loves to iron. And she had a very, very anti-consumerist, anti-capitalist vision of quilting. So we talked with her. So that was our week. We also interviewed, we haven't posted it yet. We're starting to get a couple of videos. So we have a video that's kind of weird. It's got some weird issues, but we it's our first try with Todd Purcell of Superior Threads. He walks me through a bunch of threads, and we're going to keep doing that with him because I know nothing about threads, and so I'm starting to learn. We also did one with one of our Facebook Quilting Army members, so we'll have that up too. And so we're doing both audio and video podcasts now, and we're Chris is here right now editing them for me and helping me figure out how we edit video now. We've gotten better at audio, and Patrick the cat is keeping him company. So this week we will have, we're going to put up the videos hopefully, and we have a lot of other things on store, so take a look. We are also having our first planning session on Tuesday at 2:15 at Uptown Needle and Craft Works. So if you're in town, We would love for you to come by. If you're not, we're going to be posting. You'll be able to do it through the computer and through your phone and through Facebook Live, I think. We may try to do other means of getting there, and we'll also record it and save it and put it on the Facebook group page. So tell your friends, keep listening, we'll keep going. Oh, and we had a really awesome thing happen. A couple things. We're getting a lot of good companies being willing to do giveaways, so we're working on that. It's coming. I swear it's coming. So hopefully really soon. We also had, what was the exciting thing? Oh, we got into, I can remember. I'm so tired. It's been a really long month. We are new and noteworthy in Spreaker, so that's pretty exciting. I think to get new and noteworthy we only have about 3 or 4 weeks, I think, until we're out of the running on iTunes. But to do that, we need to go to iTunes and like it and like it and like it and download it and download it and download it. So our numbers are not huge on iTunes. People are listening in different spaces besides iTunes. So if you get a chance, go to iTunes. Tell your friends to go to iTunes. If you feel so inclined, like it, leave a positive comment, boost our numbers, because maybe we'll get into new and noteworthy. It seems hard to get into new and noteworthy if you're a craft group. They don't seem to have that many of us in that. So we're trying, and if we don't, that's okay. We got on Spreakers, and we'll keep looking around. So we're on iHeartRadio now. We're all over the place. I am really enjoying that we're growing, and we all just want to quilt, and there's a particular vision of what this is. So if you're interested, come to our planning meeting either virtually or in New Orleans, and we're going to just keep going. I'm excited. Thank you for being part of this research project. It's super fun, and this is the end of the recap for week 5. So this is Elizabeth Townsend Guard. You've been listening to Just Wanna Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School. We want to hear from you. Join our army, our quilting army. Go to our Facebook page. Suggest people to be interviewed. Suggest yourself to be interviewed. We are excited to hear from you. But most importantly, I hope you get a chance to quilt today.